I think people are really concerned, like, how do I actually do the Divine Comedy? Isn't it written in Italian, translated into English? Feels like this impenetrable thing that you can't really get into, but I'm going to show you how, so come follow me. The Divine Comedy is written for people. It's written for the everyday man. It was written in Italian, right? Not in the typical sort of Latin verse of the more ornate poetry of its time. There's different ways you can participate in our process. So if you want to do the most basic kind of beginner level, no shame, no guilt version of the Divine Comedy, then just wait on Monday morning of every week during Lent, and we put out one canto for everybody to read together, one spiritual exercise, and one bit of commentary. You could also listen to it on an audiobook. We're going to have that accessible to you, a link to click on to actually get a hold of it, so you can listen to it throughout the day or when you get home from work or on the way to work. And there's also like a maximalist like approach where people basically are going to get our little sheet where it actually tells you on which date you're to read which canto. And each canto is about 3 to 4 pages of poetry. And so you can sort of go all the way. My 3 translations that I really encourage people to get. One is the John Chiardi translation. This came out in like the 50s, I believe. And so this one is the 1-volume edition. So you can read the Divine Comedy in about 8 hours in one sitting. I don't recommend that. It has minimal commentary. Easy English to kind of get into. This is what they used to use in schools across the country in sort of the mid-century. So this is the cheapest 1-volume edition. You can definitely get that. This is my more academic translation that I love to use. It's seen better days, obviously, but this is the Hollander translation. We're going to share an online version of this one as well. I like the way the format looks. I mean, the format is clean looking, right? Isn't that cool? So, and the pages, they're just pleasing to the eye. So this is my personal copy of that. And then the other translation that I also recommend to people is Anthony Easelin's translation. And I mean, these little paperbacks are cheap to find. The format is not as easy on the eyes as you can see there, but it is a good translation that I do recommend. And he has more spiritual direction in mind when it comes to his commentary. So I think there's different ways to do the Divine Comedy with our church this year, knowing that we're not diving in like a bunch of academics in the classroom. We're diving in as spiritual pilgrims on the journey, on the bright path in this dark world. So I want to encourage you to really engage with what we're doing this Lent, and to not be afraid, and to really just dive in.